Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. We're going to look at the SEC versus Ripple. There's a brand new development and a project that might land on the moon. Not my words, but from a very well-respected researcher. And what's with the new ODL patent? But first, breaking news. BitTrue will be the first Flare Networks data provider, the first exchange to submit price data to the Flare Time Series Oracle, often known as an FTSO. And if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I had the FTSO.EU group here on the channel. And what these signal providers do is create a trustworthy ecosystem in a decentralized environment. So remember, you can delegate your vote as a Spark holder and earn rewards. That is probably the most simple way to participate in the DeFi ecosystem. You may not want to stake, you may not want to get into wrapping and swapping and moving into a more, you could say more high risk part of the DeFi, but if you want to participate, well, just wait for the main net launch of the networks, Flare Networks, in Q2, and you'll be able to participate as a holder of the Spark token in a very, very risk-free way and still get the rewards. Now, Stephen Bull Diep, yeah, he is the absolute best, without a doubt, at finding video clips on Twitter. And he found a real gem. He found Jennifer Zia, Ripple's data scientist, talking about the acquisition of a company whose expertise is in building trading platforms and integrating with digital asset exchanges. So he asks in the tweet, what company is that? Well, I'm going to give you my opinion in this video. But first, we need to look at the recent development that comes from Attorney John Deaton. On behalf of the XRP holders, he is looking out for the interest of those who hold the digital asset. Not Ripple the company, not Brad Garlinghouse, not Chris Larsen, but those who hold XRP. And I might add also for those who use XRP in a use case that has, again, nothing to do with Ripple. He's filed a motion to intervene to federal rules of civil procedure. Yeah, there's 32 pages. And as John explains on his website here, crypto-law.us, it's up to us, he says, to defend ourselves against SEC. The intervention, he claims, is needed because XRP holders' interest is not adequately represented. I just think everybody really needs to continue to give him support and thank him for his efforts, because we have not had any protection whatsoever from the SEC. And the website, you'll also find there are 3 links, including the 3 pages of a letter that explains to Honorable Judge Annalisa Torres. And I'm sure this action is what John talked about when he came on to the channel last weekend. This is, I'm sure, the surprise that he had in store. Given the SEC's own statements that this Southern District Court of New York is the exclusive forum to hear claims regarding the matter, Mr. Deaton believes that it will be the legal right and basis for XRP holders, for her to move this court to grant the intervention, a permissive intervention. I don't know. I think that the Twitter space of lawyers are weighing in. You can find a lot of comments, one being from Kevin Homiak, and he is a practicing lawyer in Colorado, and he has an opinion, of course. He doubts Judge Torres is going to allow this, but even if she does, he thinks it will be tough to show that the SEC caused the injuries rather than the exchanges. But you know, it's not just trading, I want to tell Kevin. Kevin, I think, fails to cite that there are hundreds of businesses that have a use case in using the digital asset XRP and have nothing to do with Ripple and remittances. So I think that if the judge really takes a look at what has happened, she would probably reconsider. I was also given a heads up to a brand new Thai baht stablecoin that has shaken up the central bank in Thailand. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So I did a little bit more research, and this new stablecoin, THT, is on the Terra station, and it is something that you can stake for currently a 9.69% return. It's a type of a DeFi product that, gosh, I feel much more familiar with now that I was able to give the Flare Finance public beta a test drive, which if you go to the Discord channel, you can get the updates. They are just kind of on a pause right now, waiting for Costin 2 to resume. And I think it's going to take about 14 days. But they are really working so hard in the beta. You have to give them a great big thanks for all the work that they're doing. Now, I found Guy, who is part of the Coin Bureau website, or actually the channel, which no doubt most of you are familiar with because the information coming out of this channel is really, truly excellent. The research is, so good. And I know how much is required to pull off the videos that he does. I want you to listen to this just 1 minute portion because this is the project that he identified on March 2nd as having a chance to land on the moon.
This crypto bull market has me discovering new cryptocurrencies every day. Projects are emerging left and right, but it's rare to come across a crypto that stands out as a serious competitor in its niche. As it so happens, I seem to have found a cryptocurrency project that fits this profile. Terra has found a unique way to mint stablecoins that are pegged to various fiat currencies in a decentralized manner. The circulating supply of Terra's US dollar stablecoin, UST, has doubled over the last month and has consequently become one of the largest stablecoins by market cap. This is because Terra has been building new protocols and partnering with existing ones that leverage the UST stablecoin for borrowing, lending, staking, and even synthetic stock trading. Terra's native Luna coin has also been rising up the ranks as a result, and today I'm going to tell you why I think Luna has a serious shot of making it to the moon.
Wow. Well, this video is fabulous. And yeah, I had the founder and CEO of Terra on my channel. I can't remember exactly the month, but it's been enough time that passed that, wow, has he made some progress. So there's a reason why Arrington, Galaxy, Coinbase, Pantera have invested millions into this project. DeFi applications make Terra's algorithmic stablecoins the centerpiece of the decentralized finance movement, and payments cannot be ignored. I think Doe, who is the founder, he is smashing it. So I do think this is a project that everybody needs to take a second look at. All right, now going back to who's that company that Jennifer is talking about? And Stephen Bullock, yeah, I think he knows. Maybe he was just asking for people to give their feedback. Before I give you my thoughts as to who it is, listen to just 30 seconds where she talks about on-demand liquidity, the ODL, which uses the digital asset XRP, and keeping in mind that this is from June 10th, 2020. So this is really interesting. Okay, have a listen.
To give you a little bit of background, when I joined Ripple over 2 years ago, on-demand liquidity was piloting its first corridor, and there wasn't even consistently one transaction a day. Now things are much different. Now we have a solid core group of customers that are consistently sending volume.
That's all I wanted you to hear, because I think you can see how far that ODL has come along since June of 2020. All right, so, well, who do you think it might be? I'm pretty darn sure that it's Algrim. Ripple bought this Icelandic company as an acqui-hire because it had a built-in expertise in trading and exchanges with the talent of the team. And Ripple sourced the crypto talent to tap that knowledge for high frequency trading, for foreign exchange, and they had successfully integrated into 30 some markets. So they not only got a company, but they got an entire team. And CEO Dadi Armansson said that they were really big believers in XRP and the payments. This is a picture that you might have seen from October 2019. So this is a team that has been working hard, and I'll tell you why. This is Dottie right here. They had a patent that was actually granted, and if you go to Dottie's LinkedIn page, he says he's the director and engineer of ODL at Ripple. And he's also listed on this invention of a patent that was granted on January 26th, assigned to Ripple Labs for the network computing system implementing ODL for cross-medium transaction services. It's really long. It's very technical. It's very detailed. Yeah, I went through it a few times, but I'll tell you, you really have to turn your brain up. The patent does reveal that Ripple's ODL can be used by banks, governments, and corporations. And I think the most important part, and it's what Jennifer also talked about in her video, is that if the order is big, it can be broken down into smaller chunks for a best pricing before transmission to the end user. So it is part of that technology that is going to give them really a best-in-class foreign exchange solution in the environment of trading. And I don't know, I went to see if Ripple Labs had registered any new names or logos, and nothing thus far. I only can think that maybe it has something that will launch in regards to this patent in Wyoming. Just a little bit of speculation there. So when we take a look at what's going on in Iceland, oh my gosh, in the last 48 hours, they are just having a tremendous amount of seismic activity. This is Reykjavik right here. And let me just show you on the Financial Times website. This is an article, I think it was just from, I don't know, just a day or two ago. You can see here, this is all the seismic activity. And so they are guessing it's going to have an eruption of one of the volcanoes. And when you look at the amount of volcanoes in this part of the world, they have a lot. And the Icelandic language, which is really super interesting if you study, because they have been isolated for so many, 2,000 years, there is very little change in the language from 2,000 years ago. In all languages throughout the planet where we mix and people move and migrate, language changes, and it changes fast, right? The language that you might hear people just 3-4 generations ago, let alone 200 years ago, is so different. And it constantly is evolving. But the interesting thing about Iceland is is that the Nordic people, who were definitely Vikings, that they settled probably coming over from Norway, the language is almost exactly the same as it was 2,000 years ago. All right, so these are some of the pronunciations of the volcanoes that are in Iceland. This is interesting. Listen to some of these.
Reykjavik,
Keflavík,
Grindavík,
Litli-Hrútur, Fagradalsfjall,
Þráiskjaldafjall,
Keilir,
Þorbjörn,
Sandvík.
Eyjafjallajökull.
Yes, sorry guys, I had it up as high as I could. That both volumes, it was just recorded originally very, very low, and so I had it up as high as I could go on both sides of the volume controls. But I'm sorry, that was the best I could do. But I find this language just really fascinating. The pronunciation is so unique. So in Japan, there's over 50 volcanoes that are, yeah, we're in the fluff if you didn't notice. There's 50 volcanoes that are monitored in this part of the world, and they are active. There's a lot of activity in Japan. The closest one to Tokyo is Mount Fuji, which you can see here in the distance. And the town of Beppu, and particularly Oita, is so volcanic. Look at this. It is well known for its hot springs, but literally, this is not an exaggeration. The steam is just releasing from all of these onsen, it's called, which is the hot springs that people use for relaxation, for therapeutic reasons, for just pure enjoyment for thousands of years. This is the heart of where onsen are so concentrated. And the other thing that's coming up in this town, if you're soaking in an onsen or a hot spring is not your thing, this town has a fire festival on April 1st, and it's called the Ogi Fire Festival, and it is to signify the coming of spring. And they literally, through this course, light the mountain on fire. I think if you go to Google or Twitter, you'll have an amazing time looking at some of the photographs that have been taken. This is one that I thought was my favorite. And there's a little bit of a exposure going on in this camera shot, which makes the fire look like it's totally just liquefied on the mountaintop. What a really, really interesting festival. Japan has so many unique festivals. Every region of the country has its own way to celebrate something. It's a big celebration of festivals. You'll find there's something every weekend somewhere in the country. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.